Hi, my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to be talking about the different types of tools I use when working with polymer clay. I have a shop on Etsy called The Crystal Tree, and I'll leave a link down below, or you can go to my YouTube page and I have a link there as well. So when I first bought my equipment, I started out very simple. I bought this rolling pin. You can buy it at Michael's or Joann's. You can use discount coupons, and that helps when purchasing some of the things I'm going to show you. I don't use this as much as I used to, and later on in the video I'm going to talk about why. I went and bought myself a knife. These knives are very sharp. You can also find them in the clay department, and they're as sharp as a box knife or an X-Acto knife, so you have to be careful. I bought myself an X-Acto knife to use, a toothpick for using on the clay, or you can break it apart and actually put it inside the clay. And then I got this tool here, which is a tooth cleaning tool. I bought it at Fred Meyer in the dental care area, or the toothpaste aisle. You might have to look around at the different grocery stores, or like Target or Walmart might have it. You can also maybe look online and see if you can find it. This one right here is stainless steel, and I bought this a couple months ago. I haven't used it very often, but when I do, it's very helpful. I found it on Doll Maker's Dream, and there's a website I will leave a link to. She has a lot of tutorials on working with making fairies and little dolls, and this tool is very helpful, especially the tip here for smoothing out the clay and everything is it's quite nice. So I'll put a link up there so you can learn more about clay from her. Clay and tools and stuff. She has some nice tutorials. And then I went ahead and got these tools, and you can get these at Michael's, and they come in 3 sizes. They come just like this. They can be put in the oven. They're large, medium, small. They're domed inside, and they're circular, and they're pointed on each end, and you can probably thread a bead onto it too, but I've never actually done that with it. I use them mostly as an actual hand tool. I bought these tools here, and they're nice because at the end they have these nice little round balls at the end, these little knobs, and they come in different sizes all the way down to extremely tiny, and I'll show you how I use those. And I got this one. It's really nice. If you want to make your own tool, you can. You can use a large needle. They usually use them for knitting or crochet, and you can actually put some clay at the end and make one. I got lucky. I found this, and I haven't seen one since, but they're really nice to have. They're a lot like this one here, except this one actually has a spool on it, and I don't want to put it in the oven. But I'll show you how I use that in a few minutes. Just used it just now. Toothbrush, believe it or not, is really good for putting texture onto clay. I'll show you what I do with that and what I've done with that. This tool right here, you can roll it over and do different designs with it, and you can find this actually in the sewing area at Joann's. And then I bought some knives. Now, you don't have to buy all this stuff. This stuff is just extra stuff that I've gotten over the couple of months. The first stuff that I actually started showing you, that's really all you would need to even start out. I mean, all you really need is like this and a toothpick, and you could start doing clay. I just went ahead and got some knives. This knife is just like the one I just picked up. It's not very flexible. It's just a longer knife. This one right here is really nice because it flexes, and you can do more with it. So if you're working on a bigger project and you want to do like a really cool curve, or you want a little bit more, you want a better cut but make it look nice, this is a good blade to have. And then it also came with these two, and I'll show you how they work. One's larger and one's smaller. So I'm going to move the camera up a little bit so you can see what I do on the clay. Oh, and they did come with handles. I do not use them because they're hard to open. They're supposed to open like this, but my hands aren't strong enough. I can't open them, and it's just too much of a hassle. And you can get those at Michael's. Okay. So, let's see, I'm going to make make sure that's in the right place. Good. I'll use these tools first. So you can go very lightly and make, or you can go really deeply and you can make these circles. And I'll show you with the bigger one because it shows up better on the camera. And then you can go all, show you like that. And then you can go all the way down and actually, this clay's a little bit thicker, but you can pick it up and put it down. And I like that. That's really neat, especially if you want to add a little bit to your clay. You want to add a dome or just a little bit of difference to the clay, some texture. And you can do some lines with it, with these, and they're nice, and you can poke stuff with it. Poke your clay. So this is a nice tool to have, and like I said, they can go in the oven as well, but I've never actually stuck them in the oven. And then there's these tools here, and you can do different things with them. This one I don't care for as much. I mean, it's nice that it's a bigger one, but it's not double-ended. With these ones I can work a lot faster because of the fact that they are double-ended, and you can go really deep, or you can go really lightly, or you know, it's just nice to have because you can do different things with your clay, and you can do, you know, different designs and swirls and stuff. So I actually like these a lot. They're a very nice piece of equipment to have, and I like this one. And it's one of my favorite tools, is because you can do, I'm gonna get the clay ready. Do something like this with it. You can cut it. See how tiny that is? Picking that up with your hand is it's very hard to do. So you can do really tiny pieces of work and lay it down. And you can go really lightly with it, you know, and just put your pieces down, and then you can go around and touch it. And that's another thing, just like this one right here is really good to have, especially if you want to, you know, blend your clay and you don't really want to touch your clay too much and you want to get into smaller areas. It's nice because it helps you to maneuver easily in a circle or semicircle around what you're working on. So that's a nice tool to have. And then I'm going to show you this. This is what I use when I'm making like cookies. It was suggested in a tutorial I had read once to use a toothbrush, and I really like how it adds texture to your clay. You can see here in the camera that this is now textured and this isn't. And I made these little cookies with them. If you can see that, there's a little cookie here, a little chocolate chip cookie, and I did it with a toothbrush. And then you can do this with this. And I thought this was kind of interesting because if you wanted to do a different kind of shape, and you can go over that thing, and you can even go deeper, and that starts to cut the clay. So it's a nice tool to have. And lastly are these. I'm going to take this out and put this here. Make sure I'm still in the video. Okay, cool. All right, and then you just bring them down and cut. You can cut the clay like that. And you don't really have to be much of a sculptor when you're first starting out, because this allows you, you know, the tools are nice because you don't have to put too much effort into working with it, and it's a good learning tool, and it helps you to learn to do things, and it's a nice thing to have. And you can just start building from just cutting one thing. And I'm not a sculptor. I just started learning how to do a lot of this stuff recently, just from watching YouTube videos and stuff like that. So you can do something like that, you know, and make a little creature. There's a tool, some bigger tools that I'm going to bring the camera back out for so I can show you. This one right here is called a bead roller, and it comes with a nice measure so that you can measure your clay in here, so you'll know how much. You'll know how much clay to actually stick into your machine. little color maker, and which is nice about it is that you get a choice in what type of bead you want to make. You can make a diamond, you can make an oval, or you can make a round bead. Take a little bit of clay. Press it in there like that. You can take your knife, cut it like that. Use this, bring it out. So that's, I mean, that's nice to have. And then you just stick it in there. And you don't have to apply a lot of pressure when using this. It's nice to have, and you just move it back and forth, just like that. And you can actually watch it, or you can take it out and make it, and it makes a little bead. So you can see there's a bead there. And it does have this, when it comes to you, it does have this little shelf that you have to snap into place. It's supposed to snap into place. When I first bought it, I had problems. Actually, I had to have somebody help me with it. And then, since I do have the bead roller, I went ahead and bought a rack to bake my beads on, and it came like this, and it came with these, and you can actually buy these by themselves. You don't actually have to buy the rack, you can just buy these, and these are nice because you can thread your bead like this, and it's flat on one end and sharp on the other, and it's a really good when you're trying to bake your stuff to have it like this. And I'm going to actually take this out. I don't actually use this. This is for when you have canes and cutting canes, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. If I want to do my pendant and my beads together, I could bake them on the same thing, bring it out, let it cool, and it's all in one area. I don't have to worry about it. This gets extremely hot, just like a cookie tray, so when you're taking it out of the oven, be careful when handling it. It also has this other part on here, these lines that you can see here. And it came with this, and it actually has a protective thing I have to pull off, but I haven't used it yet. And you use it when you're using canes, and canes are those, they're long like this, and they're colored, and they're clay, of course, but there's a picture on one end, like a flower, or a kiwi fruit, or like someone had a butterfly, and you just take them through, and you take your knife, and you line it up like this, and then you just cut, and it also gives you a straight line so you can cut too. And the reason they have this is so that your things can fall off onto this, and you can just slide it off. I guess it sticks to this for some reason. And but that's a nice tool to have. So there's one more tool I want to talk about. It's like from before, where I don't use this, and it is a pasta roller, and you can buy this at the Craft Warehouse or Joann's Fabrics and Crafts. You can buy it with a coupon. They're about $50 to $60, brand new. I go to the Goodwill to buy mine. This one's lasted me several months, and I haven't had any issues with it. I spent about $5 to $6. I just don't see spending $60 on a pasta roller, especially if when you're first starting out and you're not sure if you're going to use it. I'm going to show you. It has different settings. There are, I think, six or seven settings on this one, and what you do is you have a roll like this, and you stick it in there, and you want to be on the edge of the table when you're working with this particular type of machine, and it makes it all one even thickness, and that's nice because when you're rolling this, it's off. You don't know if you're going to have it the same thickness. And it's nice when you're blending colors, because then you have a nice design, and then you can just cut it out and everything's the same thickness. Well, that's all I have to talk about today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know, and stay tuned. I have more videos coming in the future. Thank you. Bye.